Hey, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. I can't believe my sign is too high. This thing fell like in the night, and I was like, I had to order special hooks, and then I put it up, and now it is too high, and I am over it. Because guess what? We don't have a staff here. I'm not like some celebrity that was like, oh, I have a podcast. Make it happen. To glue this sign up like an idiot. I'm so pissed.
But anybody who's watching the video is going to the Iliza YouTube to watch the thing called Ask Iliza podcast. They're not going to look at the sign. I can't read the sign. What am I looking at? What's happening here? We're okay.
Rough stuff.
We're okay.
We're okay. I want to show off in case you're on the video. My husband bought me this mug.
That's nice. Oh,
I feel like the handle's too thin and it's bothering me, but I'm going to let it go for the sake of our marriage. I'm going to let it go.
My gosh. I thought immediately, I was like, oh, that's so nice.
How do you want this, Mike? You want it like that, right? But then the head falls down.
Oh boy. However,
Glenn, we got to get someone over here. I can't live like this. We're recording today. It's actually Super Bowl Sunday. Gun to my head 4 days ago. Could not have told you who was playing, but now I know. And we decided to have some people over because Noah wanted to like test a recipe for stuff. So it's hard to find like the perfect, you don't want to have friends over that have like older kids because then they can't play. And you don't want older boys because they'll make a mess. So you're trying to find the right friends and you're trying to make stuff. And then we realized we don't have the Super Bowl because we don't have regular TV. I think there was a scam. I think the overlords of all companies that own communications 20 years ago were like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of DVD. We're going to encourage everyone to get rid of their DVDs because everything's going to be streaming. And then we will make streaming impossible and we'll make it just like cable was. So now you have to pay for everything. And any movie you wanted, you can't watch because we don't even make DVD players anymore. And it's weird if you have one. And we'll take away the Super Bowl. And to get it, you have to have a special Hulu sports app. My husband went and created a fake email and then used a credit card and they flagged it. They were like, this credit card already pays for Hulu. The trial for Hulu to see the Super Bowl, if you wanted to like try Hulu free, I'm sure, which is crazy to me that they didn't like, you can sign up for Hulu free for like X amount of days, but it's crazy to me that they didn't have like a provision like, unless you're watching the Super Bowl, you can't do this for free. Went and created a fake account, put in our credit card to like try because you have to cancel after X amount or they'll bill you. They flagged it. They were like, this card's already on file. Now this account is flagged. So we had to use a different credit card, but we got it. We got that free trial.
Okay, good. So you can watch.
It should be your God-given American right to watch the Super Bowl.
The trick that they pulled, that they took away cable and have gone back to cable is so stupid. But you know, I have 1,800 DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, so I'm set.
I know you do. You're like the grasshopper that prepared for the winter. No, you're like the ants that prepared, and then that grasshopper was like, I'm just going to play my fiddle all the time. And then the ants had all the food for the winter.
And I would love to lend my movies to people, but like my neighbors, they're like, we don't have a player. Like nobody has one. So I don't know. If I live near you, you could borrow stuff.
No, I'll just keep renting things for like $1.99 and having my daughter not watch them. I'll just go pour $0.50 at a time.
I will say I've a couple times in my life rented something I already owned because I was like, I got to go find the disc. I got to turn on the player. I got to connect. I got to switch the input. I got to put it in.
It's all so fucked. We're just playing with people's lives and money at all times. And like 6 billionaires are laughing. And the whole TV thing is so insane. Yeah. Too many divisions, too much garbage being made, and yet I can't get a part in any of it. So here we are. It's really pissing me off about this sign.
I really
and
don't.
I can't bring this arm over.
It is. Nobody cares.
I care.
Okay, you care.
All right.
Do you want?
I'm allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah, you totally are. But I'm telling you, the fans are going to be like, we don't care. We love it.
I know.
We'd love if it.
They need a higher standard.
Fans, come get mad at Iliza for not having a sign good enough.
Come cancel me. Come fucking burn me.
Cancel you because your head's blocking the sign, and you have a proportionate to small head. I have a very large head.
I do
If
have a
I was
small
there,
head.
you'd be missing the whole sign. So you're doing your best with the head size you have.
My sign would start orbiting your head because it has its own gravitational pull. That's such a like yo mama joke.
It says, you know what? It really is. People should go back to those. It feels nicer than probably whatever they're doing now.
Just calling people retard.
No, they don't say that now anymore.
I played at a comedy club last night, which is a newer club, and it's in downtown LA. It's called The Upstairs, and the crowd was great. Like, it is downtown. It is like where the 110 and the 10 meet. Like, it is, and I was just making fun of it. It was like a haunted button factory. It's like between a strip club and a weed dispensary, but the crowd was great. And so I was like, well, where am I going? So I went on to Google and I was like reading the reviews, and they're all 5-star reviews. Like, we had the best time. My favorite comics dropped in, and there's one negative review. And it was that some woman didn't like that a comic said the R word because her brother is mentally handicapped. And I'm like, I don't know. It's a comedy club. You guys have to remember that it's a safe space, not for you, but for us.
I think it's a review I would leave for the comic, not for the place. I think that's unfair to the owner of the establishment.
But that speaks to the type of person who would even write that review. Like, I went to see some art and I didn't like the art. Therefore what? And you don't even name the comic. So it's just like, you should not leave your house then.
I would just
never know what's going to get you.
No, I would just personally
Comedy
say,
club's a safe space.
But I wouldn't go see that comedian again. But I wouldn't leave a review. I'd be like, that comedian's not for me.
So I'm saying that speaks to the type of person that would do that. It's like, well, then you shouldn't watch any comedy. Like, if you don't like it and you're going to like leave it as, watch out for this no-name open micer. People also forget that like a comedy club, like in the way that a jester could make fun of the king, you can say whatever you want on stage.
You can.
And if you don't like them, don't go see it.
Right.
You don't have a right to decide that person shouldn't make a living just because it's hurtful or shitty. Like, everybody has their own set of sensitivities.
Right. I mean, you have a right to not pay them and not see them again and not go back to the club when that person's performing there. Yeah.
You don't have a right to call the club and boycott them.
I mean, you could tell your friends, hey, this happened and I didn't like it, and they can decide if that's with or against their own
ethics.
ethics.
We're talking about two different things. That is your money. That is your thing. You do not you have the right, I suppose, but you don't have the right to expect that this person will not be allowed to make a living simply because you disagreed with what they said.
Right.
That's actually fascism.
I wouldn't tell the club, but yeah, I would tell people like, oh.
But also, their name was in Russian, like Cyrillic letters. So who knows what that was? Who knows if that was even real?
No comic ever said any bad word, and they're just attacking this club. I do love when people like boycott a show in such a way that it's like, you thought that everyone was going to fall in line and buy tickets to this, but people did. I mean, it's that very rare thing of cancellation working. It never actually sticks. But when for about 3 months, people go, we're not going to give this person money.
I think there's a difference. I think you rarely see en masse boycotting. Like, we have this whole ICE issue now, and people are like, don't go to work. And people are like, we're going to work. Like, you rarely see a group of people like, Dave Chappelle offended me, so 500,000 people return their tickets. Instead, what you see is someone goes over the head of someone and they go to their corporation, they put the pressure on the corporation, and then it comes down on that person. It's rarely like, I'm not shopping at your shop. Although it did happen to that Jew hater at the Fred Siegel restaurant who lost her business because she was a bad person.
I do think about, do you remember you had someone on the show who does a lot of videos, and they said something about a pop band. So the pop band's fans en masse wrote to people you worked with to try to get you canceled because you had this person guest on your show before. Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
I don't remember, but I do think that shows, first of all, it's usually young people who don't pay taxes.
It was
but
very
it's also
young people.
That disconnect between responsibility, obligation, and your feelings being facts.
We have this virtuous idea of how to change something, I think, especially as young people. So these young people were told, here, copy paste this letter, send it to these 3 people from Iliza's site. So they thought, this is how you make change, because they don't even know. They're not given a way to make change that actually matters. So that
also
they thought they were helping.
Lives.
Right, that too. I mean, these fans are notoriously involved, but they were
I
harassing.
like how you don't give specifics because you don't want them coming after you. You're
I
like,
don't want.
I mean,
I'm
just
scared of that, guys. Think about what pop band might have the scariest fans in the world. Like it's.
Let's move on because I feel like they're like zombies. Like if they hear you breathing, they're like, "Did you say something about BTS?"
No.
About who cares?
Now
Well, I can't say BTS. The bind. I always think of BTK, the bind, torture, kill.
I do too.
Killer. That's right.
I do too. Oh,
I feel like most of our sweet lamb listeners are like bind, torture, kill.
I know. Who's that? What's going on
Don't
there?
Google BTK. And I always confuse BTK with BTS behind the scenes, not even the K-pop band.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's like a phrase we use. You can't just have the same name.
I can't wait to talk about my bottom of the cup.
Okay, then let's get through some questions so we can get you there. We'll roll in from an Anani Mouse listener. So they're a good
Anani Mouse.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I'm in desperate need of some sisterly advice as I don't have one and could really use the we are big sister energy.
We are big sister.
Here is my issue. I'm currently soft quitting my relationship, but I'm in a very weird and specific predicament. My partner and I have been together for 7 years and are currently living with his family in his home country. We began dating in our mid-20s. Right?
Okay.
You need like a little reporter notebook.
I have it right here. And why doesn't anyone ever say the country? That drives me crazy because it always offers context.
Because they're anonymous.
I'm not going to know who you are, Jill in Amsterdam. Like, just tell me.
We began dating in our mid-20s and have lived a lot of life during our relationship. We moved to a country we both are not from and lived there for almost 5 years before moving to his country due to visa issues. We were both so happy there and we're not wanting to move away, but what happened, and we are now planning to return after I receive my citizenship here in his country. So again, I would love to know what happened in this country. Something to you or something to the country? I very much love this man.
The country's still around?
Yeah, is it?
Okay.
Is it from the before
terminal?
the USSR? I very much love this man and enjoy the life we have created together. Here is the first problem. A problem we get a lot, Eliza. He will not propose to me. I have been talking about wanting to get engaged since 2023 to friends, to my mom, to anyone who will listen, and have even had conversations with him about it. Due to our different cultures, it appears that people in his country do not typically get engaged that quickly. To them, it's perfectly normal to wait 10 years into a relationship to get engaged. I am personally not like this and have expressed this to him. I know many.
What country is that?
I'm very curious. I don't think it's a bad idea. I know many will say.
Yeah, I do. 10 years?
Okay, maybe if it was like 5, 10 is a long time. Many will say, why not just propose to him? But that's not really my style. I want the feeling of being chosen by my partner to spend the rest of his life with him. I'm sorry if that's not feminist enough for some people. We have had many fights about this because he first felt that we were not on the same page life goals wise to propose and has stated that he feels it's a daunting expectation that he will never be able to live up to. The proposal, that is.
Oh, God. Leave this guy.
Yeah, I'm already mad at him.
That's such a wimpy way out.
Oh, it's
that
too
means
much.
If you'll never be happy, I can never make you happy. Therefore, I shouldn't even try. It shouldn't be my life's goal, which it should be.
And don't wait till you hear more about this guy. I can understand where he's coming from with this because we're very different people. I love planning and traveling and big events, surprises. He doesn't do any of this. He's a homebody who just accepts things that happen to him and is go with the flow.
This guy's got to be so hot.
He has to be
like
so
he's
hot.
got to be like so hot over there in the Balkans that you're just like, look at like I can't leave him and this cold potato salad.
So
Oh my God.
here's the second issue. Our first issue is they're not engaged. Second issue, I want to be engaged before making any big milestones in a relationship, such as buy a house. Emphasis,
Such
please,
as moving
Emily.
to a foreign country.
Yeah. We are now in the process of saving to buy a house, and this is something he has wanted to do since we moved to his home country. He says it will set us up financially for our future goals of returning to the country we love and will overall progress us forward in life. While this is true, I've never been someone who wanted to buy a house before at least engagement. This is also a cultural difference because renting in his country is basically the same cost or even more than a mortgage. And house buying is more common for unmarried couples than where I'm from. This is an interesting
I bet this
wrench.
is Switzerland.
Like how you're trying to
know why I
blow up
feel
her
that
spot.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay.
I have told him I want to be engaged before buying a house, but we're hurtling towards this purchase. There's no sign in sight he's even thinking of proposing. And I'm devastated because I know this is the straw that's breaking the camel's back. He's confirming to me that what I want doesn't matter in the scheme of things. And he believes he knows better and therefore will always do what he wants first. And sadly,
he's so hot too.
Send us
He's
a
so
picture
hot.
of this
It feels
hot
so
man.
good. Yeah.
Sadly, this is not the first time he has shown me this. In the country we previously lived in, I wanted to change cities as we had no ties to the one we were in except some friends we had made. And he was also happily unemployed at the time. I was unhappy in this city and wanted a change of scenery. He agreed to the move all the way up until a month before I said I had wanted to go, when he started job hunting and got a job. Mind you, we were not on working visas where our stay was dependent on our job. We were allowed to work and travel as we pleased. When I expressed that I expected us to still go, he looked at me like I was crazy and stated, "Why would I leave? I have such a good job." That is insane gaslighting. No job. And then he goes, "I got a job."
This is too much.
Okay. We're almost.
I'm sorry. If you're going to, we need, just for the sake of storytelling, when you guys write in, if you don't have to say the exact city, but say one next to it just to color it. Cause it's a lot of like
culture
buckets to fill. Like we were in this city, then we didn't have the visa, then we moved to the other city. And as an American, like my head is spinning. I'm like, how are you just roaming around the world with no job and no money and you're just buying houses? Like,
yeah,
we need to create stories here so that we can grab onto them, but please continue.
We need to establish.
The quicker we finish this, the quicker I can tell you exactly what I think.
We need to establish a base reality. I ended up going by myself. He believed for a long time I left to get space from him, even though I told him many times I left to get space from the city I didn't like. I ended up returning after a couple of months because I didn't enjoy the distance or the rift it created in our relationship. Issue 3. This is the big one.
This is the big one?
Okay, so issue 1, he won't propose. Issue 2, he wants to buy a house without proposing and makes all the decisions. Issue 3, I am on a dependent visa, meaning he is sponsoring me by way of being my partner and a citizen of his country to live and work in his country. Our goal is for me to get citizenship in his country and then move back to the one we love. I want the citizenship. This process will take another 4 years.
No!
I feel like I am trapped. I love this man so much I want to marry him, but he showed me too many times that what I want is not of value to him in my relationship. I've had to berate him to be a better roommate countless times. He never plans any date or travels unless I specifically ask. He's addicted to gaming. I cannot expect him to change anymore, to value my wants and needs, but I am living in his country dependent on him. What do I do? My thought process is just stick with it until we renew my visa in 2027, reevaluate then, and potentially leave if I still believe it's the right thing to do, hence the term soft quitting. I love him, but if he buys the house before proposal, that's a sign to me this isn't meant to be. Please, any advice would be greatly appreciated. I don't have anyone to go to because everyone I know knows my partner, and I don't want it getting back that I'm thinking of leaving.
Listen.
This person has seen you perform in 2 countries. That's pretty cool.
Listen. Okay. I feel like you live in Europe just because you're like hopping around 100%, a bunch.
Yeah. Not America.
Are you a political refugee? Can you not go home to your own country? I know that not all countries provide access to the types of jobs we want, whatever. You are dependent on this person. I don't know the laws it's like a little unclear. Like you want to move to a country to get something so you can go to another country. If you guys pay together for a house, whose name is that house in? Do you have any rights? Is it a joint thing? Would you sell it together? It sounds like you guys are going to use your money, buy a house in his country or whatever other country, and then you're stuck. Then you will have paid all this money. Do not buy a house with this man. Do not make any large purchases with him. I don't know why you still love him. Probably because you don't know any better. My advice is you need to get independent as quickly as possible. And I don't know if that's establishing your own work visa. I do not know anything about international law, but what I do know is that you are an able-bodied person with blood pumping through your heart and a brain. So go back to your own country, find somewhere to live, get a job, get away from this situation and person. This idea that you're just going to waste the next few years while you guys are not aligned. And even if you do buy this house and you do get aligned, he doesn't want to marry you.
let's say this guy proposes. I don't want you to marry him because the biggest red flag to me is him being happily unemployed and then you say you're leaving and he goes out and gets a job. Like, now we have to stay. Ugh.
And he's a bad roommate. Like, you want to be married to and maybe even have a baby with a giant child who doesn't respect you and games all the time. This is the worst. And I get, especially in Europe, like it's a different way of life, whatever. Have some self-respect. I didn't hear anything about your job. You need to go plan the rest of your life. You want to be married. And if there is a version where you're like, I just love him, I want to be with him, but that isn't it. Because you do want to be married. You want more stable things, and that is fine. Forget the feminism of it all. You want someone to want you as much as you want them. This is uneven. You will be unhappy for the rest of your life, and you will be unfulfilled. Leave this person, get a Euro rail pass, and get the fuck out of there, and go back to Rotterdam or wherever. Find a life, find someone else.
If you weigh out your options and your best option is to stay with him to get your paperwork in a year, fine, but do not stay with him because you think he's going to change. He's not. He's, even if you get him to propose, everything else about him shows a lack of commitment.
So also you're going to be miserable for the next 3 years, and you say soft quitting. That is such a shitty place to be.
A
and we're
year.
like, he's shitty, so I'll kind of be shitty. Right. We're in 2026.
I know. It's a surprise.
So what, in a year you would get your citizenship, but you're not married? Is because you're living together?
I think she's applying for it and there's hoops to jump through.
You know what? Give it a year.
Like, what's
Give it a
it? Monkey branching, when people are like dating someone and they set up the next relationship before they leave. It's like that, but for life. And I don't.
Also, I mean,
do what you gotta
if
do.
it is just a year, but like also, what if you don't get it?
I mean,
and also, what if he breaks up with you 6 months into that waiting?
Yeah.
I just think you owe it to yourself to sit down. I haven't heard anything about your job or your goals.
I don't like this
and think about what you really want. I don't like this guy either. He fucking owes it to you at this point.
Because it's not.
To like on paper, at least be your husband or boyfriend so you can get your citizenship.
Yeah, because I'd say logistics wise, if in this country it really is cheaper to own than to rent, yes, it makes more sense to own regardless of whether or not you're married. If you have all the right legal work in place that you can sell or back out, or he has to buy you out, that can.
This
but
seems
everything
like a
else
mess.
It's a mess.
I'm not hearing enough. I'm hearing a lot of doubt and not enough self-respect and motivation on your end. So we're telling you, figure out a way to get out of that, or within that year, set yourself up.
Yeah.
When people are married, they're owed, like women might look at the idea of like a push present as anti-feminist, but it's like counterpoint, you broke your vagina to have a child. You were not paid for it. Someone should give you a diamond, your husband should give you like reparations after your divorce, alimony. Like there are transactions for spending your time with someone. Mm-hmm. And if you are spending, so I don't know what that metric is. I don't know if you're also contributing to that rent. And then if you also to that house, and then if you also are entitled to it. You didn't give us enough data, but you need to get very serious about how you want to spend the rest of your life. And unless you're just willing to be a little bit miserable because he's so amazing and handsome, this guy sounds kind of like the worst. And please don't write in and be like, no, he's not. He's really.
We're not going to believe you.
Nothing you wrote in your letter makes this guy sound good.
No. Also, my mom said on my birthday dinner that I should join a coin collecting club to meet eligible old men that collect coins. We all got to have a backup plan.
I like how she didn't even fight it. She's like, if this is your hobby now.
And then I was like,
by the way,
like,
it was Emily's birthday.
Yeah, we said
you're like, it's my life.
No, I'm kind of. I looked through all the coins. I didn't find anything, and now I'm mad.
Stop talking about your fucking coins.
Let's do another
question. So mad.
Help. This is from Betty. Serious adultery situation. Hello to the whole crew. Been listening faithfully for years. Ha 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 ha. I actually don't know if she did that on purpose because she didn't write ha ha ha. But
what if the mic's like this? Can you hear it?
Yes.
I think I like it better down here.
Okay. First I'm writing in because, this one is a real situation. Here we go. My favorite cousin, Wilma. Stop touching it. Stop touching it.
Sorry.
Put it somewhere. My favorite cousin, Wilma, 46 female, more like a sister or a best friend to me, is married to my friend I've known literally my whole life, Fred, 43 male. They have been married 2.5 years, but have a 7-year-old daughter together. Recently, Fred decided to confide in me that he has been secretly indulging in his homosexual appetites. Quote, a lot of sex with men, end quote, without Wilma's knowledge. Wilma doesn't know anything about these appetites of his. He says he's using protection. I'm not sure if he told me because he was hoping I would blow up their life for him and tell her, but I told him I will never tell her anything that will hurt her. Wilma is the most patient, kind-hearted person I've ever known. The depth of betrayal she would feel if she found out, me knowing and not telling her would be unimaginable. In most cases, I'd keep myself out of someone else's marriage, but I feel this situation is unique. He said he will tell her someday, but when he does, will she discover I knew already? And what if he doesn't ever tell her and keeps on with his adulterous ways? What the hell do I do? This is bothering me so much. Please, I kept this as short as possible. Sincerely, Betty, 42, female.
First of all, I read through this question and he was like, Fred's like, I'm using protection. You don't know that. This is so unsafe for even if it was sex with women, like it's
Sex
just
with
unsafe
anyone.
to have multiple partners. This guy, look, I know you can be attracted to both sexes, but this guy is gay and that's fine. But the sooner he comes clean about it, the sooner they can all stop living a lie. And he involved you in his marriage when he told you this. You are the cousin. And what it forces you to do is be complicit to someone you love and someone you're related to. And that's unfair. He's selfish. It's selfish to have an affair like that. It's one thing if you meet someone and you're trying to sort it out. To have sex with multiple people while you're trying to figure out your life and you'll just have your loving, devoted partner on the back burner and you're going to go tell her cousin, this is so messy and shitty. I think you need to say to him, you need to tell her because I can't look her in the eye. I don't know why you told this to me. This is my family.
It's not fair to put you in this situation, but I think it has to be the very classic, you will tell her by 2 weeks from now, or I will. If your number one concern is her realizing you knew and didn't tell her, I think the only out you have is saying, I gave him X days to tell you because I thought it would be better for you to hear it from him, and he didn't. So
that's fair.
Here I am. Like, that's the only.
What makes it even more selfish, she's like, I'm going to tell her. It's like, no, you're not. You're going to get caught and then tell her.
Yes.
There's no time that's better. After I've slept with 10 men, then I'll know I love fucking dudes. Like, I don't like him. I don't like how sloppy this is. I don't like that he involved you. I love Emily's answer, which is you have to, and you know what you could do? You could say to her, I found out something. And by the way, the longer you wait, the more she's going to be like, you knew for 2 months. And I was you're taking away her right to not want to have sex with him. She probably would not want to sleep with him if he's fucking other people. So there's Emily's version. And I don't know when you wrote this in versus when we're reading it, but there's also the version where you go to her and you say, you need to talk to Fred. He has something to tell you. I cannot be the one to tell you, but I found out and I need to tell you because I love you and I don't want to be part of this.
I think that's fair.
He cannot get mad at you. Oh, you betrayed my trust. That's my fucking cousin. And what you're doing is wrong.
And like, sis, like,
who cares
best
about
friend.
your trust?
Yeah. Screw you, Fred.
No, we're done. Yeah, you suck.
I think sometimes people think like,
why would you tell her that?
Well, you see that with like, if a man has a girlfriend and she kisses a woman and it's not cheating. And in the same way, I feel like it's this thing of like, oh, well, this is just this extra thing you can't fulfill that Fred feels like he can get away with. And it's like, no, Fred, go live your life as a happy man or be with Wilma.
But also, I don't know that, like, if he has sex with a guy, you're like, okay, you're cheating on your wife and you're gay. For some reason, when a woman is married to a man and she sleeps or makes out with a woman, it's like, that's not cheating. It's like, it still is.
Yeah.
Because a homosexual relationship is just as valid as a heterosexual one. And if you're going to write it off just because it's another girl, then if you do that, you do not actually believe in gay rights. And if you're gay and you think that, then that's wrong. Because you are a girl, you kiss a girl, unless your partner's okay with it, like that's still a person that you had sex with or kissed that wasn't your partner. So it still is cheating. It doesn't matter if it's the same gender. Like, we can't gerrymander when a gay relationship is appropriate or not based on like if it's two girls. Like it's got to be black and white. Glenn, You're a gay man, right?
Yes, I am. I'm out since 2009.
What if he was like, I cannot believe you said that.
On the
Now everyone's going to
Just
know.
outed me on national podcast and
Oh,
YouTube.
I
Thank
did.
you.
And we didn't edit it out, which is the weird part. Don't you agree with this?
Oh, no. And I'm in charge of the post notes. It's so weird that we didn't edit that out.
I mean, it's not like you speak for all gay men, but like, isn't that fair to be like, just because it's of the same gender doesn't mean it's not cheating?
Exactly. Cheating is cheating. That's why they wrote in. They're needing to feel a little bit better about it.
Tell Fred he's being a dick.
Yeah, he is. But that's a spectrum. That's a spectrum where they think that two women is okay. Man and a woman is, but there's so much stigma against two men that it's like.
You know why? Because men are the one making the rules. And also a girl kissing a girl, even as I say it, I'm like, I guess it depends on the intention of the kiss. Truly. Although you'd be mad if your girl kissed a guy, but I think
they are socialized differently.
And I think people are weirder. Sorry, I keep looking at the wrong camera about women having sex with women because it's non-penetrative. Like a man having sex with a woman is invasive, but women, unless you like use an object, like we don't have any parts that go in. So there's no invading. I think like at a biological root, it's like you're just bumping them, mashing them together. So I think men see they're like, you didn't invade the country, so it doesn't count.
That's why those hierarchies of like how much we're upset by it exist. Cause I think I think you're also talking about a kiss versus sex. I think if you found out your wife had sex with a woman, you'd be like, that is cheating. I don't care how hot it was. All right. Okay. Hi, Iliza.
Tell Fred, to take his giant dinosaur ribs and put him in his foot car and run out of there.
Fred would never. He wasn't into Barney. She wouldn't cheat on Wilma. Hi, Iliza. Emily. Married 10 years. Female. Graduate. Hoping to get some sisterly advice on how to handle my husband's tricky family dynamics. Help.
We are big sister.
Background. A year ago, I went no contact with my in-laws. It all started when I asked them if they wanted to come for dinner to see our new house. And they told me they didn't feel comfortable in our home, me being the source of their discomfort. They said I'm cold and unpredictable when we get together. Already those two things you can't be both of those.
Sure you can. Sure you can.
That the catalyst was a dinner where they claimed I accused my father-in-law of hate speech. They made up various untrue details about the event, and my husband, who was at the dinner, has backed me up that it never happened. I would never accuse someone of hate speech. I told my father-in-law that it wasn't the place and not kind to be making fun of gays in the gay-friendly downtown restaurant we were eating in. This wasn't the first time he had made jokes about gays. Oh, as far as being cold goes, I tried for years to have them be involved in our daughter's life without success. A couple years ago, I invited them into our home for a week over Christmas, and my father-in-law ignored my daughter. She asked him to read her a book the day before they left, and he told her no. My mother-in-law is better with her in person, but makes no effort to see her. These types of interactions have become increasingly frustrating to me, and I don't feel overly loving or wanting to hug when we interact. I've increasingly become distant over the years due to this, and as my frustration grows with how my daughter is treated. My husband refuses to talk about the situation. Part of me wonders if this stems from his childhood that he claims he remembers nothing about.
Oh, yeah. You think? Something that you've blacked out to be emotionally stable?
Fast forward, my husband and I are expecting our second child. Do I try to mend this fence for my children's sake? I feel bad they don't get that relationship. I've offered to just apologize for something I didn't do so we can move on, but my husband disagrees. He only sees them a few times a year, even though they live close by. What do I do? Also love the pod. Thank you for my weekly dose of Iliza and Emily. Thank you, frustrated daughter-in-law.
Okay, here's what happened. Your father-in-law made a gay joke that we in modern society probably are now attuned to knowing like that's wrong, that's actually offensive. But to him, because it wasn't like full, I think labeling it hate speech, I think we all know the difference. Oh, they said it was hate speech. Right.
Because he felt attacked and embarrassed because he was being hateful in the gay bar.
Right. He wasn't being hateful. He was being shitty. And it probably didn't come from, I'm just saying, like, there's ignorance and then there's like hatred. I'm saying, like,
it sounds like since he's made a lot of jokes like that, he's hateful.
Yeah. Look, folks, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's okay. I am saying you do know the difference between him calling someone like a goddamn F word versus like, look at that sissy. Like, you know that there is a difference. You do. You just do. You know intention.
What's the intention of the second one?
One could be ignorant and one is like coming from like a deep-seated hatred. I'm just telling that to someone that's like casually heard like Jewish jokes. Like, you know that there's like, oh, you thought that was cute, but you don't actually have a hatred. I'm just saying, like, it is worth knowing he got embarrassed. He said something dumb and ignorant. Unless this guy does hate gay people. But that's not what I'm getting from this. He said something ignorant and then he got embarrassed. So then he went even harder and he was like, you called it hate speech. You're like, no, I didn't. So it escalated. It escalated, and chances are it wasn't coming from a place where he was really trying to hurt anyone. He thought he was being funny. And us just being millennials were like, you know, you really can't say that because we wouldn't say that. It is a generational thing. And I'm not saying older people can't get with the times. I'm just saying this is a lot of emotion layered onto emotion, and it escalated, coupled with your husband already not wanting to talk to these people, and you're left to bear the brunt of it because then you get labeled something. Like, everyone's labeling something, and we all, like, it all came from like a kernel of like a little bit of truth and a misunderstanding. Because you're asking me, what do I do? The answer is your husband needs to go to therapy. That's number one. You want your kids to have a relationship with their grandparents, but you cannot dictate what type of grandparents they are. So the kid came over, you say the grandpa didn't want to read a book. Had he already read them 5 books? Was he about to fall asleep? Were they on their way out? Like, I need more context because like I walked by my son. He was like, Mommy. And I was like, nope. And I just walked by. Like, sometimes you just like, it's enough. You extend the olive branch and you say, I really would like you guys to come over, have a relationship. I really like to start over. Sometimes because this sounds like a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of misunderstanding of events where people were coming from. You don't have to change anything about yourself. I'd like the opportunity to start over. This new baby's coming. When the baby comes, we'd love to have you guys over. I did this with a relative recently where there was just years and years of you did this, but you did this, and you fucked up this way, and you did this. And I said, I don't think we can fix this, but if you want to have a clean slate, I would really love to start over. And I think in saying I would really love that lets them know like, hey, this is something that I want. I think you want it too.
But she wants it for her children, but I don't know why. Her husband doesn't care. The grandparents don't care. She's like,
that's not necessarily true that they don't care. And if they don't, then what you are doing is extending the olive branch. Your husband's an emotional child and the grandparents seem like they might suck. But as a mother, I understand the desire to like give your kids their grandparents. Because it doesn't sound like the grandparents are if the grandparents were horrible to the kids, then you'd say no. You're wanting to give them the opportunity. Extend the olive branch. Just put it out there. Have them come over. Maybe it'll be better. Or maybe they do suck, in which case you see them a few times a year. And then their indictment on you is irrelevant. But this sounds like a lot of misunderstandings built on top of each other. So you say, I'd love to start over. We'd love to have you guys over. Sunday, the baby, whatever. And leave it there. At least you will know that you started fresh or tried to.
I want to know what happened in this husband's childhood.
The parents sound like they just suck.
Yeah.
But also like, so you invite them over and they don't engage with the kids and then that's who they are. And then you know it for sure. And then at least you will know it's not for lack of trying. You might be cold. You might be all those things, but it's as a result of the way that they behaved. And then they'll say, well, we behaved this way because you did X, Y, and Z. Like it's all buried and you're not going to untie it all. That's why I'm saying start over. No one murdered anyone. No one hit anyone with their car. Start over. Maybe don't go to the gay bar. Maybe don't disrespect the establishment and the people. Maybe just eat dinner at home and just see.
Cracker Barrel.
There you go. Because there's no gay people at a Cracker Barrel in the South. Right, Emily?
I don't think I've ever been inside a Cracker Barrel.
See, and if you did, you would know that it is just dicks out and male dancers.
Okay, we have a lukewarm update.
Red hot update.
from a question that got a lot of community intrigue, which was we had a nice woman was living in her home and she had a neighbor named Peggy who was always talking to her for too long.
Remember this one? And every time she'd come out, she'd talk to her.
Wow.
By the way, in this update, she's like, just so you know, Peggy's in her 60s. I'm like, oh, we knew. We did not think someone named Peggy was in her 20s.
Well, I forget if it's a fake name. I assume it is. So,
well, we could tell by the actions that this was an older person.
Christine says, thank you for reading my email for your straightforward and empathetic advice. I made some edits before sending and must have edited out the most important part. She is 59. I can't believe I deleted that. Peggy is 59 years old, which we did.
We knew she was older. We knew.
I love that you both and folks on the Patreon expressed sympathy for Peggy, which was kind of the overall. We were all like, yeah, that is so annoying, but like poor Peggy. So that was my entire dilemma. I'm sympathetic.
On the spectrum, Peggy.
Right. I'm sympathetic to the idea she may be lonely or have special needs. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I also feel bad for Peggy. And I am happy to maintain a friendly, neighborly relationship with her. I always let her chat when we're outside in our driveways. I just don't want to receive multiple phone calls a week. I do typically let her calls go to voicemail, as you both suggested. Eliza, you're right. I'll just have to take this on the chin. I appreciate your suggestion to lean in, but I don't think that would be fair to Peggy or to me.
No.
I worry that would create an impression that I'm available for a deeper friendship when I don't realistically have the time or emotional bandwidth to maintain it.
You also don't have to answer any of those texts or calls, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't. I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb. I miss every call.
While I don't need to justify my time, I think I might have rubbed some Patreon members the wrong way. I'm a full-time Coast Guard. Search and rescue is a 24-hour operation, and I'm very deliberate about how I spend my off time, staying connected to the people closest to me because I can't be with them. My parents, family, and friends live 3,000 miles away. My wife is on a 4-month patrol. We make it a point to stay connected daily via email, and I have close friends here in California that I try to see regularly. I'm also in grad school and marathon training. Sorry, Peggy. And maybe the real answer to my question, maybe the real answer to my question is that I gently tell her I do not have time to get together and hope my doorbell stops ringing. So here is the lukewarm update.
Disconnect your doorbell, number one. And number two, fine. Go ahead.
I thought the issue had mostly resolved itself. There's a walking path in our neighborhood that loops around the back of the townhouses. The path runs along a small hill that looks down towards our houses below. Every evening I jog on the path, then walk the last quarter mile to the end and back to cool down. Last week while I was walking, Peggy came outside and started a conversation from the bottom of the hill, partially hidden behind a tree and some bushes. I stopped walking, but I didn't walk down the hill because I was planning to keep moving. She called out and asked if I had plans for the weekend. I told her I'd be spending it with my cousins and a close friend from a previous unit who's also stationed here now. I asked politely if her and her husband had plans. She said no. I said that sounded like a relaxing weekend, told her to have a great night, continued walking. I wasn't rude. I was very pleasant, but I think she felt a little snubbed.
Great.
And I had not heard from her since.
Great.
About 2 weeks without a phone call. Issue resolved. But then she called again Friday. I let it go to voicemail, and if it escalates in frequency or she asks to get together again, I will gently but honestly tell her I do not have the time while continuing to be friendly when we run into each other. Thank you for your insightful advice. Best, Christine.
That's, first of all, great, Christine. There's also nothing wrong with what?
I just have to. So this is just for clarity. She said we didn't have to read this, but we do have to read this.
Also, she provided a map of her backyard. I think we need to post it.
So no, we're not posting her backyard.
Right.
She can post it if she wants.
All right, you can post it on the Patreon.
Because she says, yes, Peggy was waiting at the bottom of the cell to talk to me because I walk at the same time every night. I watched her see me from the window, go out her front door, walk around the house, and then call out to me from behind the bush.
That's really sad. You also keep your AirPods in. You're like, I'm just on a call, and give her a wave. Just on a call. You might just have to, but I think you're doing a great job of like deflecting. Because Peggy doesn't read social cues. And I don't think she was offended and like didn't talk to you. I think she just got busy. I think you're doing a great job. Never answer those calls. Always be busy. I have done that in my life in LA where you're just like, I'm so sorry. We're training for a marathon and I'm super busy. And like, that's it. And then just end it. Like the less information, the better. She'll stop. But you're doing great.
It is really my night. If somebody was out there waiting for me in the bushes to make small talk, I would move.
Also, you can just pretend you don't hear her. You've got your headphones on. Like,
That's another
it's 2026. Like, it is wild to me when someone talks to me if I have AirPods in. And I'm just like, do you not see that I'm on the phone? You could just do that.
I think you need to get bigger headphones than AirPods because they're too small. So that it's like super obvious. Let's do top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Fan top. Waking up 3 minutes before your alarm on a crazy early travel day, it helped me feel less like death.
Especially that sound, that like alarm sound, the one that we all use for the iPhone.
Ugh. I hate that.
I hate it too. What's your top? We're starting with top today? Okay.
You said go with top. You said do a top.
I think I had too much coffee. I'll be honest. I'm
You said do
irritable
a fan
and I'm in
top.
a rush. Yeah.
I know. Okay, my top is, oh my God, flavor combos. I told you, Iliza, I had a fancy birthday meal. There was a thing that I ordered that was whipped ricotta, honey, pear, and like Iberico jamon. Like a little, what flavors that I would never purposefully eat together. But wow, what food scientist did this? What an incredible thing.
You did text it to me.
Tell
Your world is so small and getting smaller, but I'm glad you had that whipped ricotta. I don't like ricotta, but that does sound great.
I didn't think I did, but what a combo with the nice honey and the pear chunks.
My top of the cob is going to be annoying because it is something my son did because he's making his way and becoming like a little person. Whenever I ask him to do something, he just goes, "Okay, mommy. Okay, mommy."
Like he's pushing you off.
No, like, "Okay, mommy." Like it's just a very cute. It's just so tender. Like, lay down, Ethan.
Aww.
Okay, mommy. It's just sweet. And he said that a car went bloom bloom instead of vroom vroom.
That is cute.
It's a lot of cars. Oh boy.
Okay, bottom from a fan. Women's and gender neutral bathrooms that don't have a trash can in the stall. Whatever. I will just walk out holding my XXL tampon and I'm not going to hide it. Yeah, put a damn trash can in there.
Give me a fucking trash can. But also, what is with these bathrooms? I've been to more than one bathroom in Hollywood that's like, please do not flush toilet paper.
I know it. What do I do? I'm flushing it.
But what is happening that regular plumbing is not handling that? And like, so you take a giant dump and I'm just putting it in a trash or peeing?
I'm
what?
not.
And I'm like, is
That's
this a
the one
language?
time I'm breaking a rule.
Is this a language barrier? Like, do you mean like paper, like the liner for the toilet seat? No, they mean like toilet. I'm like, I'm flushing it.
No.
Like it's a muscle memory thing. All right, what's your bottom?
My bottom is I bought a big salad from Costco. Huge mistake because guess what? You can't do, but as one person, eat a whole big salad before it goes bad. I got brown leaves. I'm like, can I pick around these? This isn't right. As a single person, I can't have a salad.
Why were you at Costco?
That happens with bags from the store.
You shouldn't be shopping at Costco.
Because I want a bunch of little Cokes.
So order
for cheap.
Costco gotcha. You think it's for you, but it's not. It's for a family of 6 soccer players.
It's not for me.
No.
I signed up for it because I got such a good discount on the litter robot that it was worth, like I saved even with the price of the membership. So I've just kept the membership.
You know, I want to know who coined the phrase, the more you spend, the more you save. What a joke.
It's so good. It is, but it's like,
The less you
What's
drink,
your
the
top?
more you're hydrated.
Your bottom.
My bottom is
you're excited for.
constant prompts to use Siri. I don't fucking want it. I don't want Siri on my computer. I don't want her on my phone. I don't enable Siri. I'm sorry, did you say Siri? Did you want to let me hear every single thing you're saying so I can sell you more garbage? I don't want a fucking AI butler robot. I'm good. I have thumbs. I don't need Siri. I don't need it in my car. I don't need to be like, hey, Siri. I don't need you listening. I hate that it just pops up and it's like, did you want to talk to Siri? No, I have a fucking functioning brain. You, Siri.
I love you, Siri. Please don't come for me. No, I don't. I don't listen to you and I turn you off.
They're not going to spare you.